right, everybody, what's up? It's your media girl Robbie here checking in, and we are back on another episode of Pillow Talk Podcast Season 6. I cannot believe we are in Season 6 of Pillow Talk. That's crazy as hell. Make sure you guys are following us on IG at RobbieE93 and Facebook, Pillow Talk Podcast, and wherever else you get your podcast news. Now, I have to take a moment to shout out Born Rich because he put me in this Reveal magazine, y'all, okay? We got to give a shout out to that. An amazing magazine filled with some of Chicago's dopest artists, personalities. If you have not picked up a copy of this, I highly, highly recommend you go and get that. It is on the Born Rich page. There's a pre-order link, I believe that's on there, but in November, you'll be able to get it in stores, okay? And I am featured in here. I know I'm a little, I just got to show y'all real quick. Everybody that's great is in here, but, there's a great feature in there about me, and I was very happy about this because he put my parents in here, which I thought was really, really cool. So shout out to Born Rich. Shout out to Chicago Media for really putting on a lot of independent stuff. It's really hard to get support in independent media in general, independent music, all of that. So to have home team people really support you, put you out there, really means a lot. Now, I got to get into my guest here in the building. So happy to finally have him here. This is definitely a long overdue interview. It's crazy because we've actually known each other for years. Now it's going on a few years, but now he's finally here on Pillow Talk Podcast. The one and only Stank Nasty is in the building.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Coming.
Of course. Well overdue, for sure.
Definitely well overdue. But I'm happy you're here, man. Stank, I don't even remember, how did I meet you?
Okay, so I know that, I think it went like this. I started making some music with Johnny Innuendo. His real name's Jonathan McBride.
Yes.
I know that he and I believe you and some other folks went to the same high school, so there was kind of a reunion of people all trying to do music, and I was also trying to do music before that. Mm-hmm. And then I know that he was trying to take it more seriously, so I was like, oh yeah, me too. And I think that through us, through me and him collaborating, and then me starting to learn his network and everything. Yeah. And then that's when there was showcases and stuff. I think the first time I actually met you in person was at a showcase in Waukegan at a soup shop.
Oh, was it?
Or something.
Okay.
Downtown Waukegan. Devin was there.
Okay. Shout out to Devin.
Yep, shout out. I think he goes by Dev now.
Shout out to Devin.
And so it was I can't remember who was hosting, but it was a bunch of us
Jiggy?
performing.
No,
I think so.
Was it Jiggy Bars?
I think so, yeah.
Shout out to Jiggy.
Yeah, and we performed there, and then I think after we may have shared a couple words, but I think it was more through social media and everything, and you were doing the podcast, and you really had quite the presence.
Thank you.
Very charismatic, I must say. And then a fun event that happened was the Venom tour. Shout out Mike Fort.
Yes.
She really took the reins on that because she kept the crowd going. I mean, and it was a long show. A lot of artists performed, so she really kept everyone's attention on the artists and everything, which is much appreciated. So that was a cool event. And it's just been cool watching you work your ass off, and a lot of people say that they work hard, but I think Robin really shows it, and I think it was really cool to have her and her man in my music video, which was a lot of fun. So thank you for that.
Definitely so much fun. Oh, we just went down memory lane real quick. Okay, yeah. We just went down memory lane. No, I love that, Stink. I love you. You've always been an amazing artist and really a genuine person. You are always yourself. You've never changed. Since I've met you,
it's hard.
You have always been the same. And I love that about you because can't nobody take away being genuine. Can't nobody finesse you when you genuine.
Right.
I've
been finessed before, I must say. But I mean, when you first start taking the thing seriously, and then all of a sudden, you start to see in the music industry, you start to see all the
fake shit.
All the fake shit, all the game that people try to run on you, and obviously, it's hard to. You have to learn how to discern. Okay, is this a legit operation that's
Yes.
happening, or is someone just trying to screw you? So obviously, when you're starting, it's gonna probably happen, but then you learn,
Yeah.
and then you're careful who you work with and whatnot. So.
Absolutely. It's a learning game. You can't get around the learning experience, okay?
Yes.
But we got to get into Stank Nasty, introduce you fully to the Pillow Talk Nation. Because I know I love Stank, and he just gave y'all the backstory on how we met. But we got to know a little bit more about Stank the man before we get into Stank the music, okay? Now, people want to know Stank. The name.
The name? Okay, that's always... That's always,
people want to know the name.
People always make a funny face when they hear that name, and it's like, it works to my advantage in a sense that, like, it's not easy to forget, and it's a little bit goofy, but it really started when I was in high school. When I was going into high school, I was I was the smallest guy. Yeah, I was a late bloomer.
Freshman. Okay.
So I was thinking of trying to join the football team, so I did like the conditioning camp. And one of the football coaches like saw me like, working out and everything, and I wasn't like the strongest, but I was very fast. And so like when he was doing roll call and he would say my last name Stankiewicz, he'd be like, Stankiewicz, Stank Nasty. I'm gonna call you Stank Nasty. And I'm like, whatever, coach, that's cool. That's cool by me. So like when I started to get into music, with a buddy of mine in high school, probably sophomore years, when I started to like mess around with it. Like I didn't take it super seriously, but I saw like, rapping is cool and everything, and I can write some rhymes, and so I kind of started messing with that a little bit. Back when FL Studio, I don't know if FL Studio.
That sounds familiar.
So it's a software that, in a program that a lot of hip hop artists and producers use that was like a lot older. But I started messing around with that, and then I went to college for nursing school, so I am a registered nurse.
Nice. Thank you for your help.
Of course, yeah.
Where'd you go to school at, by the way?
I went to Illinois Wesleyan. So that's where I met Jonathan.
Okay, nice.
So Jonathan and I
didn't know that.
Met sophomore year, but we met through a mutual friend of ours, Darion, who was the tall guy that was in Take a Chance also.
Nice.
Okay.
Aww.
He's a graphic designer. Shout out Darion, by the way. He's very talented. He's a graphic designer, and I could see him being a creative director for some, like Pharrell.
Fire.
I would compare him to like Pharrell and his creativity and everything. But anyway, so I met Jonathan at Illinois Wesleyan. Nursing school was very hard, so I kind of had to dial back from the rapping a little bit. But like, I would always get distracted studying, because you have to be by yourself studying a lot in nursing school. It's very hard, and I would end up just going off on these rabbit holes with like a lot of just new hip hop music and just writing different stuff, like lyrics and stuff. Okay. Then in 2016, after I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna enter this contest that Tech Nine was hosting, where you could like record a verse over one of his beats, and then he would select like a winner for it to be on the song.
Nice.
Okay. So at that point, that's when I really started to fine tune like my writing and like my delivery of my rapping into the recording, because I kind of did it like half-assed like throughout high school, and then like, but once I graduated and I started taking this more seriously, like I really practiced and rehearsed and got into like making sure like the flow is down, super like super detailed and everything. So I didn't win, unfortunately, but I was like, okay, like I know I can be better, or I know I can get better. So it was about 2017 where I like officially decided like, okay, I'm gonna take this very seriously. Like I'm gonna learn what I can. I started working with Jonathan. He was my producer for a while for some things. And then we parted ways after that. And then, ever since then, I've been kind of doing stuff on my own. But I do work with one engineer. Shout out Gerald. He's very good at what he does. He's like a scientist, and he's the reason all my songs like sound good quality and everything. So that was it's 2025 now?
Yes.
It feels like it was just yesterday that I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. But you got to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a marathon.
That First off, that's interesting as far as you being a registered nurse and being a rapper. That's like two spectrums right there.
It is two spectrums, but like I think there's some stereotypes with nurses that obviously it's a female dominated field. When I, in my nursing class, it was me and two other guys with like 50 girls. So,
what drove you to want to do that? What
nursing?
Yeah.
So my twin sister is also a nurse, actually. In high school, we had this program where we could kind of explore like the healthcare fields. And in nursing, it seemed like you could do the most and you could do a lot more in it. And it seemed like it was maybe a little bit easier than medical school. Not really, though. But yeah, that's what got me into nursing. And then I was like, okay, this is great. There were so many times during nursing school where I was like, dude, I don't know if I could do this. It was really hard because it's like when you're in school, it's like it's up to you to, you have to have the time management. You have to have the discipline.
Yes.
It's like there were other majors that were like, they would go out like every day. And I had to be like, no, like you can only go out like once every other weekend, if at most.
I was the other majors.
Well, regardless, you're obviously
that was me.
You're right. You're very successful,
You're right.
and you're sky's the limit, of course.
No, that's true though.
It is all about like the discipline and like staying with it, even when you don't feel like it, for sure. But so from nursing, I was always interested in mental health. So I've been a nurse, but in the mental health arena. So I used to work from graduation. I worked on the west side of Chicago at a place called Loretto Hospital.
Nice.
I don't know if you've heard of that. It's called a safety net hospital, meaning that's where people who can't, they don't have insurance or they can't, afford certain services. I saw some wild shit there, but it was a great learning experience, and it has added to my identity and my persona in hip hop too, just because I've helped a lot of people when they're at their lowest.
Yeah.
So it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and just only added to. So when you say like they're two, the nursing and rapper, it's two different things, but I've been able to like use the nursing and use a lot of like the life skills I've learned with nursing to add to what I bring and what I plan to bring to hip hop, for sure.
I love that. You're saving lives. You out here saving lives.
I'm trying.
You out here saving lives. No, I think that's super dope. I didn't know that. All the years I've known you, I never knew that. So that's amazing. I love that so much.
Thank you.
Now, taking it back as far as the rapping and the music, we got to go back to high school, Stank Nasty. What were you listening to back then? Who were some of your biggest influences that poured into the way you rap today?
Of course, Eminem was one of the first ones, just because like my family grew up listening to mostly like old school rock, and then they would throw in like Michael Jackson and like Seal here and there, and I became more drawn to that.
Nice. I love Seal. Yeah.
And so that kind of like those were stepping stones for me to like hear other music. So like I think the first time I heard Eminem on the radio, I was maybe in first grade. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And so it started with Eminem, but then it's like once I listened to Eminem, it like broke the door open for all these other artists that I am trying to keep up with. And then I got really into Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, Biggie. Black Eyed Peas was like my thing for a while. I really liked Black Eyed Peas for a while. Oh, there's so many. There's so many
What's
artists.
your favorite Eminem song?
It changes.
Damn. Okay.
It changes because like I'll get in these moods where like I'll have certain songs just on repeat, and then it's like, because I'm really particular about like if I listen to a song or an album, if it's not going to make me want to keep listening to it over and over and over again, I won't listen to it anymore, right? I don't like save it on my phone, but I think right now my favorite Eminem song is Cinderella Man from Recovery. There's also the remix from DJ Khaled's album, Use This Gospel. It's really, fucking awesome.
Never heard it. I'm gonna have to listen to it.
It's really good because it's like really I like all the really intense, like dramatic crescendo type, like inspirational songs that like Eminem has made. Like I like his old stuff, like from Slim Shady LP, like some of his kind of crazy stuff. But the stuff I keep finding myself returning back to are like the Till I Collapse song, like those anthems. So I've always been drawn to anthems too, because like that's what I listened to a lot since I was an athlete, like in high school and middle school. So I was always drawn to that, and I still am.
Nice. I love that. I love Eminem. He definitely broke the mold, I think, for a lot of kids back then when he burst on the scene.
It was wild.
Everybody. He just did something that was so different. I mean, I remember watching MTV Awards. He had all the duplicates of him everywhere. Like, of course, his Stan video, like the feud with Mariah Carey. But
oh my God.
It was just a lot. But Eminem really was like a influential rapper, artist, like 8 Mile, everything. So I love that. I love that you said. I love that you said Eminem. I think that's dope. As far as to your music and the way that you kind of create, you have a flow about you. You know, rhyme master. You very vicious with it. You know, so. I want to know a little bit about kind of how you honed in on like making your own sound, because it is easy to, you know,
copy.
Yeah, be somebody else. But when you listen to Stank Nasty, it's Stank Nasty. So how did you get confident to flow like that?
It really just was playing with my voice, kind of just with accents, I guess. Like my rapping voice is clearly very different from my speaking voice. Like I add a little more, what I like to say, I add stank to my voice when I'm like rapping as Stank Nasty. Because, you know, it kind of adds some of that bravado and kind of that, you know, like slang sound to my voice. But it really just was playing a lot with my voice and trying different things. And, you know, I've drawn inspiration from guys like Eminem and Jay-Z. Tech Nine also is another one. Or like when the Carter 4 came out, I think it was in 2010, like I had that album heavy in rotation. But a lot of like the lyricists, like Royce 5'9", for example, like they are really the people who've inspired me. But like I've also listened to a lot of other artists. Like, of course, Michael Jackson is one of my favorite artists of all time. So it's like his like pop sound, his whole like always bringing some type of theme to his music or to his music videos. I've used that to kind of fuse into what I do, because I don't want to be the white rapper that's like, oh, he's just trying to be the next Eminem, or oh, he's just trying to be like Yellow Wolf, for example. He's you know who that is?
Yeah.
He's very fast, and he's what's you would call a chopper, someone who raps very fast and multi-syllables and stuff. And I've had some comparisons to him, but I try my best to not sound like other people.
Okay.
Like I draw inspiration in their styles and like, you know, how they approach the craft, like of writing. But I've always tried to make it so that, you know, I sound just different enough so I'm not sounding like I'm just copying another artist. Because I think nowadays artists will see, oh, this guy's popular. Oh, I like this guy, so I'm going to just copy his sound. Like when I first started, that's what I kind of did. I kind of copied Eminem's sound, but then as I realized, oh, like you have to really have your own identity, I kind of backed away from that and kind of just found the sweet spot.
Nice. I love that though. And it's hard. It's hard to find what's authentic to you. You do have to do a trial and error with that, definitely.
Yeah.
I love that you touched on like you don't want to be another Eminem, quote unquote. You touched a little bit before we got on about just being white per se and being in hip hop and what that means, and you know, to maybe the masses versus what it means to you. So let's touch back a little bit on that, because I feel like you said something that was really, really deep that people need to hear.
Okay, so it's gonna be a lot. So are you ready? Okay,
it's gonna be a lot.
You gotta steer me back on track because I go on these tangents sometimes. Okay, so as I learned what it means, what hip hop started with, it started as music to express, you know, people expressing themselves as oppressed communities, right? And you know, that's Black and Latino communities, right? So So as I've gotten older and I've listened to hip hop, I haven't just listened to the songs that I like, but I'm really trying to understand, like, okay, this is definitely an art form that has to really be respected, and you have to do your homework and do, learn a little bit of the history of everything, so that, because I feel like even if you're a white rapper and you're good at rapping and writing, you have to, I feel a responsibility, because I'm white, that there's certain things that I should not and cannot talk about if I, number one, didn't live through them myself, didn't have, like firsthand experience with them. And I think there's white rappers that do the opposite. They just say whatever sounds cool if they think it's going to sell. And I think you have to understand that if you're a white rapper, technically, by definition, you are appropriating. Okay?
Talk about his thing. Ooh.
So technically, you're appropriating, and I think people think appropriating means you're. There's some negative connotations, obviously, because appropriating means you're benefiting from the usage of an art form from a culture that is not your own, or that you don't come from the originators. And I take that very seriously. So there's certain things that I won't talk about, or I'm really thinking about, okay, if I rap about this thing, I need to say it in a way that communicates that I may have witnessed some things, but I can't speak about, like, being in the streets or anything like that. Like, I've worked and helped people who have come from that, but I haven't lived through it myself, so I have to be very careful, and I try to be very careful about what I say. I don't just say shit because it sounds cool, and then it's like, oh, like, people are gonna support that. Like, I feel like I see a lot of younger white rappers doing that shit now, and that annoys me, because it's like they don't give a shit about the art form if they're doing that. Like what Kendrick Lamar says, you have to respect the art form. Like when he was saying about Drake, he was, I know you're a Drake fan, but he was, I guess Drake seemed to have been doing things and taking advantage and benefiting from the culture and not, giving back, which I know that I'm wrong about. But what I mean to say is that I think if you're a white artist, you have to really do your homework. And you have to, I think it's a responsibility for white artists to stand up for, especially Black and Latino communities, because again, this is the art form. The art form came from these communities. So if you're going to be a guest in the house of hip hop, you better wipe your shoes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think in analogies sometimes. So when I think about my identity here, I think about that. It's like, okay, like if I'm gonna put myself in hip hop, I need to make sure that I'm being responsible.
Yeah.
Because I don't just, I'm cool, I'm a rapper.
Right.
I don't just think of it like that. I think of all the cultural underpinnings that span back from when hip hop started up till now. And so, I can't have certain discussions like this with, other white folks who aren't in hip hop or don't think about it as much as I do. So, I think there has to be a huge level of responsibility, and people will say, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're selling records. Well, it does matter if you respect the art form. And I have a deep respect for the art form. So, as a white artist, I want to make sure that I'm only contributing to hip hop what's going to help it progress and move forward. And in progress and move forward in the sense, I mean, like, in a healthy progression. Obviously, getting rich and becoming wealthy and all that is in a sense progress. But like, I think the messages that are perpetuated in hip hop need to be, healthier, I guess.
Yeah. Facts.
And so when you're speaking, and so some of these songs that I find myself returning to, they have more like these healthier messages. To me, if I can bring that, or if I can bring something like that to hip hop, then I'm doing it the right way. Yeah, like I can make some like party song or something hardcore that's like that shows my lyrical prowess in my metaphors, but I still have to do it in such a way that's like still respecting the art form and the culture, and making sure that I'm not saying anything that's gonna contribute to a digression of the culture. Because first and foremost, hip hop is meant to push Black and Latino cultures forward, because again, those were the communities that started it, and so the whole goal, it seems, is to progress that forward. And of course, there's political there's political activism and stuff involved with that. So it's like, I feel like you just have to have these responsibilities, especially if you're a white artist who's a guest here, to wipe your shoes off before you go into the house of hip hop.
Yes, I love it. I think that was pretty spot on. I think that was pretty spot on for real, because that's a touchy thing to dive into. We ain't gonna act like that's not tough, but I feel like I mentioned before, with you being authentic, this is who Stank Nasty is. He's not trying to necessarily appropriate and pretend to be somebody he's not. He has a real love for the culture, and just him explaining his respect for it, that's deep. I think that's huge respect. Real talk. Like, there's a lot of Black guys that are rapping, quote unquote, that don't have that type of respect for hip hop or the culture of hip hop at all. So I commend you on that.
Thank you. And I really have to give credit to, again, nursing too. There's this intersection of when I worked there at the hospital, at Loretto Hospital. I received my preceptor. That's someone who like is an experienced nurse who like helps train you. Okay. So like he's my mentor. So shout out to Neil, aka his real name is Shabubi. He and I would have discussions about nursing and like why the patient population was predominantly Black male and female adults. And a lot of these folks were going through mental health crises, going through drug withdrawal. I've seen like folks at their worst, people who are suicidal. I've had to I've had to restrain people because they got violent and everything. And so throughout that training process, my mentor, he explained to me, like he gave me more nuanced education about working with the Black community. I mean, and the things that because I've always had good intentions, but he helped. He explained why on certain things. If I was trying to help someone, and a lot of times patients didn't want to even talk to me. He's like, it's because you're a white male and you're in this hospital, and they don't trust you. And then he, I'm aware of the Tuskegee, experiments and all that, but he went into some of his own life experience with me and taught me a lot of things. And that really is at the intersection, because then that made me reevaluate, okay, if that was around the time that I started taking hip hop more seriously. So I got a second, there's my nursing school education, then there's the real education that I feel that I got with him. And I still get on the phone with him and everything. He's a really great nurse, and he's taught me a lot, and it takes, he didn't have to do that. And I was like I'm this young nurse that's coming in with all these experienced nurses, and I'm like, to be honest, I'm the only white boy in the hospital, like in the whole hospital. So like people ended up knowing who I was pretty quickly. Like, who's that? who's that new? Right, exactly. So, but it was a great learning experience, and I'm never gonna forget it. And I'm grateful, and that makes me want to. I would hope that I get super big so that I can not just help that hospital, but it gave me a lens on seeing the bigger picture on how things really are on such a grand scale. Yeah. So that has accelerated and intensified my need to defend anyone who I feel is getting picked on. Obviously, we have the white power structure in America. My wife is a realtor, and she you know, she learned a lot too about, you know, redlining and stuff. And, you know, she's helped she helps a lot of Latino clients and stuff because, you know, they've struggled a lot with housing and stuff. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm saying that my wife and I are very much on, you know, she wants to be an actress and everything too. So she's pursuing that, and she's done some like commercials and stuff. But at the same time, like we're both on the same page of, you know, protecting people that the white power structure is harming, obviously. And see, I'm going on a tangent here. Shit, it's but see, the thing is because it's all encompassing. It's all encompassing because. And some people might, he's a white rapper, so he's just pandering by saying all this. And that people can say that, that's fine. But I've had, what's a good way to put it? I've had close encounters with how bad things can get for people in terms of the care that I've had to, you know, that I've provided for.
It's okay, you can keep talking.
The care that I've provided for patients, and you know, the people I've helped rehabilitate, and you know, you get it. I've been exposed, thankfully. I've been exposed to things that a lot of people who look like me could only hear people talk about. But I've been able to see it up close. I've been able to see these situations up close, and it's upsetting to me because I've always been one to come to people's defense who I feel are being ganged up on or picked on or what have you. So now I'm always looking out for, I'm always keeping my eyes and ears open, like this whole stuff with ICE and everything too. It's really crazy especially because my wife is Mexican, and so, you know, and in high school and middle school, most of the students that I went to school with were Hispanic. So it's just this whole thing. It's been crazy. It's been really crazy. It's really been crazy as hell. And it's just been, it's been tough to watch, because then it's like it continues to intensify my my need to protect and try to do things to because I try to have these discussions with like other white folks sometimes if it comes up, because
do they feel some type of way about it?
Well, they do, but they get uncomfortable, and that's the white fragility coming out of them, right? So I've learned that the true change happens when, any white guy can say, oh, like Black Lives Matter if they're around Black lives. But if you need to be saying that message, especially when it's just you and other white folks, because you have to shake up the white fragility, and you have to show people that you know, show other white folks that this is something that needs to be a concern of theirs too, just because it doesn't affect them. And so, you know, a lot of times those don't go well. I mean, like I said, I live in Round Lake. Yeah. And so that's like big Trump territory. The reason I live there is because my wife and I moved there. I used to live in Wheeling. And it's, to be honest, Lake County's cheaper taxes. Yeah.
That's why I don't live in Chicago. I live in that area.
So, but there was one time where I was at Dunkin' Donuts, and I have a Black Lives Matter sticker on my car, so people know. So people, and it's surprisingly that has gotten in me into some interesting interactions with folks, because I was at a Dunkin' Donut, and again, if I'm going off on a tangent, please. Well,
I'm gonna let you wrap that up, but we do want to get into the music.
Got you. So there was one time where I was at a Dunkin' Donuts, and I was just walking to my car, and there was a guy sitting in his truck, really, you know, like he was like a maybe 6-year-old white male. And so like he started he was parked right next to me. I was just minding my own business. And the Black Lives Matter sticker's right on my driver's side door. And he's like, well, all lives matter. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to have this conversation with you. No. I'm not going to have this. And he started going off and saying racial slurs and shit. I was like I paused because I was like, is this really happening right now? And this was in like 2021. I'm like, I was like, I can't believe that this is actually happening right now. And I was like, he seemed a little unhinged. So I was going to like clap back, but I had to get to one of my patients because I'm a home health nurse now. So I go to people's homes.
Okay.
And it was crazy that, and that's with Trump. I feel like I hate to talk about Trump because I fucking can't stand him, but he's making it okay for people to feel empowered being racist. It's anyway, it's stressing me out talking about it.
No, but that's deep though. And again, I appreciate you just for being honest and talking about your experience, because tensions are high right now. And in addition to ICE, literally patrolling the streets and attacking immigrants, they're also targeting Black people, anybody else that fits a description of immigrant. Okay. So this is a real big issue, rooted in a lot of racial injustices that are just wrong in America. So it feels good to have somebody else see that too, and speak on what's going on, because it's real as hell. I know for me, lived in Lake County, I was on live maybe 2 weeks ago with Carlos Smith. Shout out to Boy Looks Crazy. And we actually ran up on ICE. Oh, shit. And I was scared because I didn't know it was them, because they were in a regular civilian car. They were in a regular car.
Oh, so they're doing, they don't have labeled vehicles now, huh?
No, they were doing pop out, jump out missions, we so happened to see them. And when we looked in the car, they were fully covered in their gear, but they were in this like minivan. So it's real, y'all. So definitely be a little more cautious about the people you're interacting with and the mind states that you're dealing with. Because remember, you're not necessarily dealing with people, you're dealing with the mentality right now. And
there's a lot of unhinged people.
Dealing with mentality.
So many, yep.
So on a lighter note, because we definitely got deep real quick, let's reel it back a little bit. Whew, yeah. We got to get into your music, of course, your video, your new single. I was so happy, I could be in that. Me and my man could be in that. But I want to get into the video process of that, because you really got on your directorial with that, the way you explained how you wanted it to go. Let's get into that a little bit.
So I knew I wanted the song to be kind of fun, summery, all about love and everything. And when I had a discussion with Brian, shout out Brian, aka D Nerdo, Deuce, Four Eyes Films, he was the videographer for this, and he helped me come up with the idea. I knew I wanted it to be like a date type thing, but then he had the idea of kind of comparing it to Hitch.
Love it.
So in Hitch, obviously, if you haven't seen that movie, I don't know how to help you.
Why haven't you seen it?
No. I said if you haven't seen that movie.
I'm saying, why haven't they seen it?
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
Why haven't you seen it?
I was going to be the role of kind of like Hitch, like a figment of your imagination, kind of helping make sure since I'm a man, I wanted to make sure the man was kind of doing the right things on a first date. I'm kind of old school when it comes to the courting. So I kind of wanted to reflect that in the music video. I wanted it to be more PG-13 because I feel like so much nowadays, a lot of music videos are, and I don't want to like,
you ain't wrong though,
talk down on any, because some of the music videos are good, but it's just,
you're not wrong.
Things are so like, I think hypersexual.
Absolutely. Everything's hypersexual as fuck. You ain't wrong.
And I think one of the cool things about music videos and music when I was growing up was kind of the say it without saying it type of thing. To leave some up to the imagination. So that was kind of the part of the point of this music video. I wanted to have, obviously, a great couple. Her and Jamal, they did great. They're both, I wanted to have a couple who was actually had a relationship.
Yeah.
They were building something together. It's just easier to capture the chemistry there. Especially because, I could have done My Wife and I, but I have another music video where we were already the main characters, and it's like, okay, that would be just recycling what I already did. I wanted to come up with something a little more crafty, where I was in the video, obviously, but I wanted to get a different angle, and I think this angle was cool because a lot of people were like, dude, that was a great like idea. Like I totally saw what you were trying to do. Yes. And it's funny because a lot of people like I don't even know, or people I'm friends with on Facebook, but like I don't really talk to like they were the ones that were saying like,
nice,
bro, like I saw the vision and everything.
Yes.
Like
it was so good, y'all. Shout out to Corey Ether too. Shout out to Corey Ether.
Yes. I have to really commend Corey Ether as well. I mean, it all started with him and I collaborating on the song.
Nice.
You know, he's not just a beat maker, he's a producer. So when we came up with the song, I was like, I'll be around. It samples I'll be around. I'm like, can you do something with this but make it faster pace? Because I have a little bit more of a faster flow sometimes. I like to rap faster, and I wanted it to kind of have like a fusion with house music and kind of a nod to Chicago house music as well.
Yes.
And so I was like, all right, we'll do that, and then do the tempo of, do you know the song You're the One by K Tronada and Sid?
That sounds familiar. I love K Tronada.
Can I play it now, or is it? Okay. Because I just, when I like a song, I get super hooked on it, and I can't stop listening. I have to listen to it 100 times until I hate it. And then
I will play some shit out.
For real. So the replay value, and that's another approach I take to my music are people going to want to listen to this multiple times or just a one-time listen?
That's a good key to have in mind.
So, hold on. So I was like, all right, I want the same exact tempo as this song, but do something with I'll Be Around. So it's the same exact tempo.
Okay.
So Corey came up with something amazing, obviously. I had no part in actually creating the beat, but like he set it up perfectly to have like the verses, a nice hook. And so that made my writing process easy. I wrote the whole song in probably a couple hours. And I was like, well, I can't sing these hooks because I can't sing, really. I can hold a tone. Sure. But I've always liked the dynamic of male rappers and female vocalists. Love the Way You Lie by Eminem and Rihanna. I know that sounds cliche, but that's such a great song.
Yeah.
Stan and even though it's not a female vocalist, the song Mirror by Lil Wayne and Bruno Mars, like the whole dynamic of a singing chorus and rapping verses, like those are all the kind of songs I grew up on.
Nice.
And so I was like, all right, well, I got to get, some good vocalists that I know. Shout out Janae and Charmaine.
Yes, shout out Charmaine.
And they were both very awesome at getting the vocals on. I wanted to have, Janae has some deeper vocals, some lower tones, and I wanted to complement that with Charmaine's higher tones. And so it was really an amazing chorus. I wrote the chorus, but I just had them sing it the way I really wanted them to. So it really came out awesome. And then I was like, all right, for the music video, like I kind of want to structure it how Michael Jackson had done some of his music videos. Like his are a lot of like stories, and then like there's a dance number. And I was like, well, shit. Like we used to have like dance battles in middle school and high school. I wasn't like a break dancer. I could do more like waving and popping and locking. So I wanted to showcase that I could dance and not just rap, because I feel like a lot of rappers are just like, oh, I just spit bars, but like I feel like now you need to have more. You need to separate yourself a little bit more and make yourself more of an asset, so you have to be able to do other things. And it wasn't anything crazy in terms of the dancing, but I worked with a couple dancers. Shout out to Nadia and Alexis. For helping me choreograph that piece at the end there. And that was, I really enjoyed that because I wanted people to see that I got some rhythm. I mean, I'm no Michael Jackson by any means. I'm no, like, absolutely not even close to, like, Chris Brown. But I want people to see, like, that, I'm a white rapper, but I'm not just an Eminem type rapper. Like, I can dance and I can do some of these other things. And I really wanted to kind of separate myself that way, and it seems that people really enjoyed the music video. And I don't know if you caught the jacket that I wore in that music video. That's a Michael Jackson wore that, I think, for one of his Pepsi commercials.
Wow, really?
It wasn't it was just some duplicate one that I got online. But like, no, it wasn't the jacket,
nice,
but
though.
it was like, I kind of wanted to, I wanted to give a nod, but like add my own twist to it. Cause like obviously in Beat It, he had like the red one, but I kind of like to wear all black.
Nice. I like that though.
So yeah, that was a lot of different things I wanted to think of. And I wanted to think of like during the courting phase, like I feel like a man should be like putting his best foot forward and like trying to be a gentleman and everything. I feel like that's becoming a lost art.
Yeah, definitely.
I know that some guys would say, well, women don't appreciate that or whatever. Some guys might say that, but it's like you got to keep being the gentleman until you find the one that does appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you got to just take those L's to the chin and keep it moving.
That's right. That's right. No, I loved it. It was a great experience. I love the video. I think you showing chivalry is definitely important because I'm grown. Ain't nobody can be playing no games. We are grown, okay? So be adults here. But no, I think it was really cool. It was just a nice vibe. Like, I can picture that song everywhere. So, yeah, thank you for having me be a part of that. But if you have not seen the video, okay, take a chance. You definitely got to make sure.
Take a chance on YouTube,
that
Spotify, everywhere.
Definitely got to make sure.
Yeah.
Now, we are running out of time, but we got to do some of the 10 minutes of honesty before you leave.
All right.
Okay, we got to because you can't get up out of here without doing something.
Nope. Gotta get vulnerable for a second.
Okay, gotta get vulnerable for a second.
I'm gonna go to the water.
Okay. I'm gonna get one from the bottom. Stank Nasty in the building.
So do you write these or do you have someone else write them?
They
or
are
what?
actually a mixture of people. I have people on Facebook that send questions. I write questions, and then whenever I just see random stuff on Twitter.
Okay. Twitter, that is, man, I'm Twitter's gold, but it is really inflammatory.
But you gotta know how to use it. I follow all the news outlets on Twitter, so
I gotta stop doing that.
My Twitter's lit. Okay, first question. Describe the best date you ever had.
This is gonna sound cliche again. Actually, okay, I was either my first date or my second date. Okay, I would probably say it was my first date because that's when I knew. Okay, my now wife, like she can deal with my quirkiness because I'm really OCD about stuff. It was at a Walker Brothers. Okay, breakfast for dinner.
Nice.
Underrated. She was having a rough day, so she was not in a good mood, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not going to go well because she's going to think it's me or something. Mm-hmm. And we went to Walker Brothers, and we were eating our food, and she would do this like thing where she would like cut like her nuts in like these little pieces, and like her whole prep with her food was like the quirkiest thing ever. But like I was like, okay, I can deal with that because I got some quirks too. So like, and I could tell she was just being herself, and that was a great date. Not necessarily because it wasn't some fancy dinner or it's because I felt like I knew that she could have good potential just because I knew she was being herself, and she didn't care that the little quirks that she was showing on the first date. I feel like you gotta just don't pretend to be someone else.
Yeah.
I mean because then you gotta uphold that fake persona throughout the whole time. Mm-hmm. Better to just be yourself. And if someone, isn't rocking with it, then just move on to the next one. But that was definitely, that first date with my now wife.
Nice.
Was the best one.
That's nice. We all got some quirks.
Yep.
We all got some quirks. Okay. Would you rather be loved by one person or adored by millions?
You said adored, though. Mm-hmm. Does that mean loved?
Adored is adored. However you interpret the word is
I'd rather be loved by one person.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'd rather be loved by one person because I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like, and it's very special.
Yeah.
And to me, love and adore are two different things.
Facts.
They're not the same.
Okay.
I mean, adoration can come and go. It's fleeting. Love is something that you commit to.
Facts. You're right. That's the trick. What does adored mean to you? So that's a good answer. I like that. That's a good answer. What has been the best age so far?
Man, these are getting harder. Because I think too much. I think too deeply about shit. And then it's like there's all these all the contingencies that I come up with. But I also don't want to come off cliche. I'd probably say, in the sense that it became very clear on who I was and what I wanted to do. How old was I in 2017, 2018? However old I was in 2017,
you
2018.
You gotta give us the age.
24? I'm 32 now. Okay? That's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna pursue music. And there was also a period of time where my now wife and I were broken up because she had some things to figure out. Mm-hmm. I had some things to figure out. She wasn't quite ready to receive the love I was ready to give. Then she was the one that came back and said, I don't ask for second chances, but you're worth it. And so we got back together. And that was all in that short period of time. So probably 24, 25. Because I was finished with my hoe phase, college and a little bit post-college. And so I had more of a sense of direction and willingness to buckle down and have some, really good discipline on the things that I wanted out of life. Yeah. And obviously that's a great age, but I would
is a good age.
I would tell everyone too that, because I think everyone's in a hurry and they feel that they're running out of time and people think there has to be specific timelines. I would say there isn't necessarily a set timeline to what you need to do with your life. Once you figure it out, just plug away.
Yeah. Nice. 24. 24 is a good age. 24 is a good age. I'm 32 as well. I'll be 33 in February.
Millennials. Right? Are we millennials?
Yeah.
Shit.
We're fucking millennials.
What my sister-in-law was like, we played because she's a generation behind us, and she played a song that we grew up on, and she's like, "Oh, this is old school."
Gen Z.
I'm like, "What?" Calling our music that we grew up on old school. I'm like, "Oh shit."
I had some kids that was like, "Who's Wiz Khalifa?" And I was like, wow.
The Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller era. My God.
But that's something I feel like you kind of had to be there for. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Wait, so are you going to answer these, or is it just me?
No, you got to answer.
Okay, fine.
You got to answer.
Okay.
Okay, next question. How
right.
late is too late to eat a snack? This how you know we millennials, because this is a millennial-ass question. I follow a podcast called the Huberman Podcast, so I'm very in tune to health and wellness. You shouldn't be eating. The latest you should eat is 2 hours before you go to sleep. Ooh.
So I struggle sometimes. Late night snacking for me is hard because it's right there, and I kind of just want a Snickers or something.
Yeah.
But I would say 2 hours before bed is the last time you should eat something before you go to sleep. It's hard. It's a lot harder
I have failed.
Because then it's before bed, you're watching, a show or something.
Yeah, and you want a snack.
Down,
you want a little
and
treat.
It's nice to eat a little something.
Just a little something.
Cereal's my go-to.
I failed. Okay, we got 2 more questions. We got 2 more. Biggest fear, if you have one. Some people say they're not scared of anything, or fearful of anything, rather.
My biggest fear, and I don't mean to get so deep, but not achieving what my life goals, and that's to become a household name artist, to sell out stadiums for my wife, to win a fucking Oscar, for me to win Grammys. That sounds really lofty, and we're trying to take baby steps, but not being able to because it's been about almost 10 years now, me going after these things, and I know it takes time, but not being able to reach those, all the things that I'm set out for, that's my biggest fear. So I know it's trust the process, and it's it's a marathon, but there's also a little bit of sense of urgency as well.
That's deep. You're wrong. You look up and now you're 30 fucking 2.
I know, that's right.
Okay, last question. You've been killing these. What does your spirit animal look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
I swear.
What does it look like to you?
It looks like probably probably a wolf. I don't know. Like what if it looks like something that doesn't even exist?
Okay. Well, what you got to describe it a little bit.
It definitely looks like just a wolf. Just because I know that wolves, like, some wolves travel in packs, some wolves go off on their own, but like wolves are also very loyal. So I think that, I don't know, wolves are they're majestic, but they're also, they're very dynamic creatures. So they feel they have emotions and everything, and and another thing too is just because of, my wife and my relationship, I know that some like wolves will take a partner, and then if I've read that if their mate dies, they won't try to find another one.
Oh wow.
So I know I'd be thinking about some deep shit.
Oh shoot.
But that's part of it. So I'd say like a wolf, just because wolves are so dynamic, and again, it's like with hip hop, it's like I'm trying to be dynamic as well. Very multifaceted when it comes to the types of beats and things that I rap on and everything. So I would say a wolf for sure.
Nice. Okay, we like wolves. That's a good answer. We like that. You did very good on the 10 minutes of honesty. How do you feel right now?
Good.
You did.
Made me think for sure.
You did what was needed.
It made me think for sure and reaffirm my thoughts and beliefs about myself.
Well, I've definitely enjoyed you here on Pillow Talk Podcast. Stank Nasty.
Thank you so much.
Before you go, just give us some insight on what we can expect from you next. I mean, 2025 is almost over, but I'm sure you have a lot of stuff that's in the works.
It's really pushing this Take a Chance song. I mean, to be honest, getting the sample cleared was very hard. And I had to take a lot of risk doing so, but I did it so that it forced me to have to not look back and just keep pushing forward with this Take a Chance song. And so you can expect to see me doing more open mics, showing my face more, getting, I wanted Robin's podcast to be one of the first ones I did to kind of talk about it and everything. But you'll be seeing my face a lot more, performances, and I'm going to be submitting the song for showcases and try to get some sync licensing and hopefully blow this song up, man, because this song has been like it started. We started it in 2022 and it just came out in February of this year. So like the whole process of getting the sample cleared was
crazy.
I would not recommend.
No, that's super dope. I love the single as well. And I just love your seriousness, your focus. You know how to go about what you want in music. So I'm excited to see the future for you. Definitely. You got Pillow Talk support all day long.
Thank you. Likewise. And I'm very excited. Sky's the limit for you as well. So I'm really excited. I'll see you at the top.
Thank you. Period, Stank. Let them know.
It's not if, it's when.
It's when. Heavy on that. But definitely let everybody know where they can follow you and tune in.
You can follow me on Instagram. Just type in Stank Nasty, and it's Stank Nasty, one word. I know folks get that confused sometimes, but that should be the first thing that pops up. I'm also Stank Nasty on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. And please also follow and listen to the Pillow Talk podcast.
Yeah.
She was one of the first podcasters here before a lot of folks started coming out with podcasts, so show some respect.
Okay. You heard it. You heard what he said, okay? Y'all heard what was said on that. But no, thank you again so much, Stank Nasty. I appreciate it. If you have not seen Take a Chance video, definitely make sure you guys watch it. It's on YouTube. It's going crazy right now. Me and Jamal are in it. Corey Ether.
They killed it.
It's a vibe. If you've seen Hitch, you're absolutely going to love the video. Just a little bit of unruly guidance before we go. Make sure that you surround yourself with genuine people because you never know how far they'll take you.
That's right.
Okay. Make sure you guys subscribe, send in love and light. Peace out.